Hola, hola, hola. Hello, 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 my beautiful planner babe divas. Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl here, Daniela, La Planning Diva. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me here today. It's been a minute. Oh my goodness. I've missed you. I've missed YouTube. I've missed sharing my love for all things planner. And yeah, it's been wild. It's been a wild ride for the last couple of weeks. I've been incredibly busy. I have been transitioning to a new job. It's been wild. So yeah, I just wanted to hop on here before I start returning to my regularly scheduled planner content, because I just wanted to say hi and explain myself a bit. I have been a little bit absent for a few weeks now. And I also wanted to share some exciting updates that have been going on with me, because they're definitely going to be affecting my YouTube content, my planner content, my planning style, my planning methods from here on out. And so I wanted to kind of give a little context about all of that before jumping into the regular scheduled Plan With Me's and planner content, just so everything's kind of out there in the open and everything's clear about where I'm going and how I'm doing and things like that. And I just wanted to chit chat with you all. And a lot of you have been so supportive of me throughout like my professional career development, and have been following along with me throughout graduate school and on. And I just wanted to share a little bit about the next steps in my journey. So without further ado, grab your iced coffee, grab your tea, grab your coffee, grab your hot chocolate, grab your atole, your champorado, whatever you want, and let's have a little chit chat. I just got back from checking out my honeybee hive, so I'm a little bit sweaty, a little bit ruffled. My hair's a little bit, but it's all right. Steven and I also just got back from watching Twisters, which was so good. It was so campy. It was outrageous, ridiculous. Highly recommend. So yeah, to kick things off, I have been super busy for the last couple of weeks. I haven't been filming, editing, uploading videos for the last couple of weeks. And I think the only reason I have had videos go up within the last 2 weeks was because I had already filmed some vlog footage from earlier on in the summer, and I was able to sneak in those videos, but I was not able to film anything new. So the last two videos I posted were these two vlog videos, my Disneyland trip, and then I think the Rosie Dog Beach day. And I actually think I have a county fair vlog that I haven't put together. But besides that, I just haven't had time to film and edit and upload. It does take a long time to get videos up, and I've been super busy because life has just been a roller coaster for the last couple of months. And yeah, honestly, there's been a lot of things that have been kind of on pause and on hold since the beginning of July. So beginning of July, I got sick. I caught some kind of cold, and I was out for about a week, the first week of July, which sucked because that is, the week that all of the July Start planners begin. So that was kind of annoying. I was sick for about a week, and then I was recovering. And then about the time I started recovering, my sister came to visit. So she was with us for, 5-6 days. So I was busy hosting, I was busy recovering, and then once my sister left, I had taken so much time off from work between those two things that work was like an avalanche that week, and I had to put out a lot of fires, get a lot of things pushed forward so that I could get back into the swing of things, and there was no time to film content. And then after that first week of being back to work, I had to start preparing for my trip to Montreal, Canada. I always take a work conference in the summer. This year it was in Montreal, and I was giving a talk. I was also meeting a future employer at the conference, and so I was really busy preparing, prepping, getting everything together, because I was going to be in Montreal for about 10 days or so. So I had to really leave a lot of my affairs in order and super busy prepping for that. Oh my goodness. So then I flew off to Montreal in late July, and then I was there until August the 4th. I went to the conference. I stayed a few days after the conference. I took a few days off for vacation. My sister and her wife came to visit me in Montreal, and then Steven joined me in Montreal. It was a great time, and I actually got a lot of planning done. I did a lot of spreads there on my little vacation, which was a lot of fun. And then I flew back to San Diego, flew back home, and it was back to the grind. We had a camping trip planned the weekend following our Montreal trip, so we had that to plan and prepare for. I was busy back at work, and I was particularly busy at work because while I was at the conference, I came to the decision, I made the very difficult decision to take a non-academic job. And that's pretty much like the big news that I want to share, is that I have decided to leave the academic job trajectory I was on. So a little bit of background. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I've been in academia. I have been in academic my entire life. I did my undergraduate education. I went straight into graduate school, which took me 7 years. And then I did a postdoc immediately after. And my postdoc was a 2-year contract. And so we're coming now to the end of that contract. It was going to end August 31st. My 2-year anniversary with this position, and I was at a crossroads. Determining whether I was going to continue on as an academic and try to make that route work, or if I was going to exit academia and find a position elsewhere and start making moves to, grow myself as a scientist and as a researcher outside of academia. I've been a little bit open about my journey in academia. Since I started graduate school, my dream was to be a professor with my own lab and teaching classes and living that full-on fantasy. As I went through graduate school, academia is definitely an easy place to get burnt out, and I was very burnt out kind of midway through academia, and I had kind of decided not to continue as an academic. But then as I finished out grad school and as my research started to become published, and I got a really awesome fellowship to continue in academia as a postdoc, I started to see the doors kind of open and the path open before me to stay and remain in academia. And so I started kind of getting back into the saddle with academia. And my postdoc was also kind of an interesting roller coaster. I would go, months thinking that for sure I was going to stay in academia. I was going to try my hardest to remain in academia. And then I would go through months where I really wanted to get out of academia. I was really confident that I was ready to get out because it's just such a stressful job for me. I don't do well, I think, with the academic job environment. I kept on feeling just immense pressure, immense exhaustion in this role, and it was really taking a toll on my mental health. I would go through periods of burnout and depression, and I knew for a fact it came from my job. And I'm sure you all have noticed, periods where I'm not filming as much. It's definitely in those periods of burnout, because when I get into that stage, for me, it's about basics. It's about just doing the basics for my own survival and, doing what I need to do for work, and everything else is, I need to just take a step back and breathe and relax in order for me to pull out of that burnt out phase. And I always felt like it was a constant struggle to remain healthy in academia. I would cycle through periods of intense burnout, and it just seemed to be that was the pace that you have to exist at to be successful in academia. So I was on the job market since the beginning of June, although honestly I started on the job market as early as January, But from January through about June, I was on the academic job market looking for professor positions, applying, interviewing. I didn't get any of my academic positions that I applied to. So in June, I went on the non-academic job market and I started sending out applications. I think I sent out about 55 applications, mostly for non-academic positions, although I did apply to one other postdoc just to see what would happen. And so fast forward to late July, I was in Montreal and I had received most of the decisions on my applications that I had applied to at this point. So again, I applied to about 55 jobs and I got 2 job offers. I got a few interviews, but I got 2 solid job offers. One was a non-academic track job as a staff researcher / lab technician in a human genetics lab, actually studying lung cancer and lung disorders. And I got another job offer for another postdoc position in a honeybee genetics lab in Ohio. And I was at a massive crossroads at this point because the honeybee genetics lab was a position that was, made a lot of sense for my background. It definitely would have allowed me to continue in academia. If I wanted to stay in academia, it was the next logical step. It was a great lab. It was a great position. It was a great supervisor. And I actually met her when I was at the conference. We had lunch together. We talked. I think she was great. And she was really, really kind and generous. And it would have been a great fit. However, it would have required me to move to Ohio. And after a lot of decision, I decided that I wasn't willing to uproot my family and my life here in San Diego to go to a temporary position in Ohio without any real idea of when I would finally settle down into a life. That's the thing about academia, is that you're always moving around every 2 to 3 years. It's really hard to settle down. It's hard to buy a house and settle down. And I'm at the stage in my life that I kind of want to have stability and I want to settle down. I want to buy a house. I want to put down roots. And so I made the difficult decision to leave academia and I decided to take this staff researcher / lab technician job at UC San Diego, which is where I did my PhD. And I knew when I took this job that it was also another decision because I'm technically overqualified for it, and so the pay isn't the best. It's solid. It's a solid position and a solid salary, but it's not the best. But I applied to this position very intentionally. I knew I was overqualified for it. I knew that if I was offered it, I would seriously consider it because it seemed like cool work to me. And as I was applying to jobs, which by the way, the job market is shit right now. And so that was also very worrisome, was that the job market was very, very tight. And I was also applying to things that I knew I was overqualified for because just in case some of the other more competitive PhD level jobs didn't come through for me, at least I would have some job offers somewhere if I broadened my search. And I was willing to start at more of a entry level or a lower tier on the level of jobs. And if I was willing to work from there, I think I might have a better chance at securing a stable, solid job. So anyways, I got offered this position as a lab tech and I interviewed for it. I went on site. I did, I think, 3 interviews between Zoom and the on-site interview. And I really liked the people. I really liked the lab. I liked the research. I liked the building and the area. And of course, I'm very familiar with UC San Diego because I spent 7 years of my life there. And I eventually got offered the position and I accepted the position and I turned down the honeybee genetics position in Ohio. And my decision was very much that I've decided that in this new stage of my life, I am really going to focus on work-life balance. I'm going to focus on myself and my mental health, my physical health, my emotional and spiritual health. I have spent more than a decade at this point being extremely busy and always doing the most, always striving to be the most qualified, the most educated, the one that works the hardest in the room. And it's been great. It's gotten me to places that I'm very happy to have arrived at. But I decided that for once in my life, I am going to have work-life balance. And I love that for me. So the new job seems very chill, which I'm very excited about. And I am very willing to kind of take a more chill job at this stage in my life and really focus on myself, really establish like solid boundaries between work and life. And then in 2 years or so, once I've really settled into the position, I'm willing to think about then, actively seeking promotion and building from there. And yeah, maybe in 2 years I'll want to advance my career and start again on that grind and climbing up the ladder. Or I might decide that I don't want to do that anymore, and I like a chill job and I like where I am. The salary is fine for me. It's not extravagant, but it is definitely livable. And, if I live within my means and I'm modest, then I can live comfortably on the salary. But I have decided that I'm focusing on me, myself, and I am really going to take this time, these next 2 years, to focus on my health, all aspects of my health, particularly my fitness. I'm really looking forward to having extra time to, work out, focus on my nutrition, and just like really take care of myself, because I felt like I was really starting to fall apart, especially near the end there. And I don't want to feel like that moving forward. Although I think I still will be a very busy bee until the end of this year, because I did commit to teaching a university class, just one semester. I'm teaching a genomics and biology class at a liberal arts college here in San Diego. So I'm going to be teaching that class. I'm also still teaching 2 art classes in prison. One of them will last about until maybe November. The other one actually should wrap up soon, within a month or so. So I think my workload will slowly decrease and end in December. And then come 2025 January, I will, I think, only be working my 9 to 5. And I'm really excited to be just focused on that position and not doing all this other stuff outside of work. And really, 2025 is going to be, I think, just the year for myself to establish a work-life balance and really commit to my health. I'm very excited about it. And I'm excited to also have extra time to share my planners content and share my love for planners and planning and all things creative and art. And so I'm hoping that you'll see a lot more from me within the next year. So that's all the tea. I hope you enjoyed that little story time. So thank you so much for hanging out with me here, chit-chatting and listening to me. I really appreciate you. I really look forward to all of the comments that y'all leave down below, all the kindness, all the feedback, all of the generosity. I really appreciate every single moment that you share with me. So thank you. And yeah, you'll see me soon. I already have filmed a couple of videos, some plan with me's. I actually just filmed my Happy Planner warehouse haul, which I did a pretty big haul over the over last weekend with the Happy Planner virtual warehouse sale. I got a lot of things, kind of to celebrate my new transition into this new job. So look forward to that. I have a couple of plan with me's coming up, and of course I'm getting back into my fitness. So I hope you all look forward to all of the lovely planner content coming out. And with that, I hope to see you in the next video. So until then, stay safe. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your week and happy planning. Adios.